It's American Aquarium, and here's BJ.
Hey guys, how are y'all?
The rest of the band's here. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
They're hiding in the background.
Hiding in the background. Okay, the obvious first question is, what's with American Aquarium? What does it mean?
One of our favorite bands is a band out of Chicago called Wilco.
Yes.
And one of their records starts off, I'm an American Aquarium drinker. I assassin down the avenue. And when I was 20 years old, I thought it was the greatest band name in the world. Looking back, I wish I'd called ourselves something different. But once you put out that first record, you know, there's no turning back. No turning back after that.
Well, I was going to ask you something really stupid, like what's the difference between an American aquarium and a German aquarium? But now I don't have to.
Oh, now you don't have to. It's not that specific, I promise.
Okay. Now, I have met everybody, and I do not think there are any doddering, aged, old men in this band. So your new single is called The Losing Side of 25. And what I'd like to know is how many of you are on the losing side of 25?
We're all on the losing side of 25 except for Colin. I think Colin's the young gun who might just be teetering right there on the line. Soon enough he'll jump over the edge.
What made you decide that 25 is such a drastic benchmark?
25 was the age I gave myself to try to make it play in music.
Oh, okay.
You know, when you get done with college and you have to explain to your parents the reason that you're not going to school anymore is because you're going to get in a van and travel the country with your friends and play music.
Which they're thrilled to hear.
Most parents aren't exactly thrilled about it. So just to kind of alleviate the pressure coming from home, you know, there was this number that I made up that was, if I don't make it by 25, I'll go back to school. Blah, blah, blah. Of course, 25 came and went. We hadn't done anything. And so it just was a way to keep my parents off my back for about 5 years while I played music.
I was particularly struck by it because, as it turns out in my life, 25 was a pivotal year, a crucial year. Everything changed. But I don't, you know, that's just something that happened to me.
Yeah, the song is about me kind of, you know, I live a very different lifestyle than most of my friends that I went to school with. So most of them at 25 are married, have kids,
yes,
buying a house.
And you make that clear in the song.
Moving up through the corporate ladder, and you know, like I said, I'm with my 5 best friends in a van, traveling the country, playing music every night. It's so when I catch up with them, when we go out to have dinner, when I'm in town, we have extremely polarizing views of like what it's like to be 30 now, because they're just like, man, work is so hard, and like I come home and like my wife, like, it's not the woman I married, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, man, I'm still having a good time. I'm still having fun. So the song's kind of about, you know, me kind of getting to the point where I want what they have. You know, it's, you know, I want stability. I want to have a permanent address. I want to have somebody to come home to. And I think they want the freedom to just get out on the road and drive.
Well, look at it this way. You've got all that great envy.
Yeah. It's funny how it's envious on both ends now. Because I thought I'd never want that, but I'm getting to a certain age where I'm like, man, I want to start settling down a little bit more, and they want the complete opposite. So.
And this is the second release from Wolves.
This is the second release. The first release was the title track, and I think that got somewhere in the top 30 on the Texas radio charts. And so this is a new one. You know,
starting.
This was the fan favorite when the record came out. This is the song that shows. It was kind of the sleeper. We didn't know how people were going to react to it because, you know, I'm singing about, you know, just being 30, and I didn't know how our fans were going to relate. And this is the song at the shows you hear people singing along to, and after the show's like, man, that song just hits home.
Yeah, well, it does.
You know, so.
And you know, one of the things I think that we all have to think about whenever you started playing is that everybody's growing up. Doesn't matter what age you are, what age they are, everybody continues to grow up.
For sure. It's also one of those things where at a certain point you have to look yourself in the mirror and say, is this really what I'm cut out to do? And that's where we were probably, you know, 2 years ago, 3 years ago was, you know, we've been doing this for 7 years and we're not really seeing anything grow out of it. Maybe we made the wrong choice. Maybe we're not cut out to be musicians. Maybe we should go back to school. Maybe, you know, we should, you know, I could go back to working at the Olive Garden. You know.
Boy, that's appealing.
Yeah. For those fortunate few that had me wait on them back in the early 2000s, I'm sure they are glad.
What's the worst thing you did as a waiter?
I can't really talk about that.
Oh dear.
The only thing I can say is never make the person handling your food upset.
Words to live by.
Always be kind to the wait staff. But the one, I was always the guy that was kind of loud and wanted to make everybody happy. So one day this lady came in and wanted me to sing her whole family happy birthday. And she had a party of about 25 people. And I was the guy who always boisterously sang the Olive Garden birthday song,
Yes.
Bona Festa. And but I would if I did it for a table of two, I would close it out with tapping 2 wine glasses together for a nice little ding, and it was nice. When you do that for a party of 20 and you try to ding it hard enough for it to go over people, the wine glasses shatter into a million pieces and getting everybody's food and drinks, and ruin their birthday. My manager came out of the back, fired me immediately, and luckily the lady who asked me to sing happy birthday for her begged the manager, like, we asked him to like make it special, like it's our fault, we're so sorry, please don't fire him. So they didn't fire me then, but then about a month later I got fired for the band being gone too long. So yeah, it didn't matter, you know.
Well, it's a great story, and look at it this way: whatever happens to you in life, you'll always have a great story to tell.
Yeah, I'll always be able to tell about those couple years I worked at the Olive Garden in Raleigh.
Now, if people want to find out where you're playing, where you're going, where you're going to be on the radio, how do they do that?
The best way to find us is our website, www.americanaquarium.com. It's got tour dates, it's got videos, it's got MP3 downloads, pictures, whatever anybody would need to find out about us. And for the music fans out there, if you just want to get our music, anywhere you get music, you can get our stuff. You can get us on Spotify, iTunes, Pandora, Napster, all that good stuff. And we're on all the social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So we're pretty active on the social media front. So drop by and say hey.
Okay. Now, what do you think about your royalty payments?
You know, we don't spend the $20 in one place every month. We spread it out over the course of a couple McDonald's, and yeah, we take a big stance on we have taken a big stance on the Spotify debate.
Mm-hmm.
And for us, we would just rather people hear the songs. You know, we would rather people, you know, come out to shows and pay the $15 to $20 ticket that goes in our pocket. And, you know, what we've learned is if we give people our music and give them a chance to fall in love with it when they come to the show, they're buying it on vinyl. They're buying the CD, and we don't have to split that anyway. That goes right into the gas tank.
If you don't have any fans, you don't have anything.
For sure, I understand why, you know, Taylor Swift's a little upset that millions of people are listening to her stuff for free, but the 26,000 Facebook fans that we have that are listening to it for free, they're taking really good care of us at the show. So we're not. It's a symbiotic relationship.
Wonderful. And since you mentioned about your fans, you're not originally from Texas. What brought you down here?
A booking agent. We were in Fort Worth, Texas, and we played a show in front of absolutely no one, except for a group of guys who were just there to drink beer on a Tuesday night. One of those guys happened to be Roger Ray, who used to play pedal steel for Jason Boland. And he's like, man, my booking agent would love you guys. And we hear that all the time from bands, like, we're going to help you out. And it never happens. So about 2 months later, John Folk from Red 11 Music texted us, and he's like, hey, man, I really love y'all's record. I got a new band I want to put you guys on tour with. They're doing really good in Texas. It was this little band out of Oklahoma called the Turnpike Troubadours. Mm-hmm. He put us on tour with the Turnpike Troubadours, and I remember when the Turnpike Troubadours had a van and a trailer, and so we started touring with those guys and became really good friends with them. And as they got bigger, fortunately for us, they brought us along to the bigger shows.
Fantastic. That's the Texas way.
And they told us that Boland did the same thing for them, and Boland told us that other bands did it for them. So we were kind of we tagged along with Turnpike for a couple years, and we realized that folks in Texas stopped looking past where it said we were from on our bio and just actually listened to our songs. And now we come to Texas about 2 weeks every 2 months.
Correct.
And I swore I was never going to love any barbecue other than North Carolina pulled pork, but this brisket you guys have down here,
pretty good stuff.
is solid. Well worth coming down here every couple weeks.
Great. Well, it's BJ Barham and American Aquarium, so enjoy.